H2O provides multiple tools to improve the developer experience when both developing or wanting to utilize and choose among H2O products for the task at hand. Let's have a look at the AI Code Assistant with H2O. The first one is within the Notebook Lab, and it's a programming assistant. Let's check some of the things we can do. First, I can ask simple questions like, how can I sort my data using 2 columns from a Panda data frame? I can also switch to another programming language. Let's use R, and let's check how I can read a local data set. This looks correct. Next, I can ask another question about improving following Python code. Great. It provides me now instead with the list comprehension. Let's check our options. Generate. Let's generate a Jupyter notebook. Let's create a notebook. I read my local data, clean the data, and perform some basic data analysis. It has now been generated, and this is where I can find it. Let's have a look. As asked, it reads the data from my customer churn data, clean the data, gives me some summary statistics, and does some basic data analysis. H2O Functions is a general-purpose agent-based solution that helps users to solve the problems that are AI or data science related. Underneath, the app will communicate with H2O products like Driverless AI, H2OGPTe Enterprise, Feature Store, H2O MLOps, etc. And it will be capable to code and run the code, browse the web, and more. Let's upload some data. Brilliant, it looks like the data were uploaded to Driverless AI and H2O Drive. Let's ask how many rows the dataset has. Brilliant, looks like there is 150 rows. Let's ask to predict accurately the species into that dataset, and let's H2O function to select the actual product needed. The H2O agent has captured my intent here using the datasets I've uploaded, and it's going to create an experiment. Looks like it will use Driverless AI without me prompting it. It has created an experiment called Iris Classification Exp. Let's have a look. I can see a few datasets have been created. And if I go to the experiments, I can see that Driverless AI has started an experiment with the name that it was mentioned. Another option for specific code assistance is to use Enterprise H2OGPTe or open source H2OGPTe to interrogate and talk to your specific documentation. Here, let's take the Driverless AI Python client documentation. Let's ask how to create an experiment with Driverless AI Python client. Brilliant. I can even copy this code, and the answer provides me with a reference to the documentation.
Hi, let's take a look at the Generative AI AppStudio as part of the Enterprise H2OGPTe suite of tools. So here we are in the AI App Store. We see a running instance of the AppStudio. So if I click on Visit, I'll be sent over to that running instance. Now, the idea behind this AppStudio is that we are using generative AI to create AI applications, perhaps even additional generative AI applications. So we've definitely got the generative AI to create generative AI aspects going on here. The idea here is we can either prompt through text or draw a sketch on what we want our app to look like. So in this case, I'll just show a few examples. Maybe we want to create a predictive maintenance app, but we've got a few example industries you can pick from, and in which case you describe what you want the app to effectively be doing. The next step might be to add a sketch. So you could quite literally draw a sketch of what you want your application to look like. Here's a few example sketches we might want to pick from. Maybe we're going to focus on customer segmentation here as an example. You can upload data that's going to be used in association with this application. Again, we have a few sample data sets we can use. So we'll again stick with the customer segmentation. And you can also add documents. So obviously we're using generative AI LLMs here. So if we want to pick a document, for example, we'll pick our customer segmentation PDF as an example, just to use with the application. We'll click next, and now we're kind of off to the races here, creating the code based on our inputs, and we're actually generate an entire application by itself. So as soon as this is done, we're going to start seeing the code printed. This is H2O Wave code, so it's in Python. It's really just, it automatically created all this using generative AI. We're not going to wait for that to finish. Let's click on View App. And so here we are. So this is the application that was completely generated based on our inputs. You can see there, it's a preview of the application at the top. There's a few tabs. So again, this is directly correlated to the sketch that we provided it on what each one of these sections pertains to and what it does. Right. So as you go through each tab, it's showing you that. We are connected to Enterprise H2OGPTe based on the inputs we provided. So for example, we provide a few prompts here right in the application to use. And it's going out there and talking to a large language model using RAG, the advanced RAG tools we've already looked at. So that's going to keep going. If we click on assets, this might take a second to populate, but what this is, these are the assets associated with the app. So in this case, the document, the data, and again, the sketch that we originally picked to generate the application. A few last things to look at. So for content generation, if at this point you want to continue to edit the application, you can actually, use an AI assistant to go through here. Maybe you want to generate a new title. Maybe you want to go from customer segmentation to customer churn, for example. So we'll ask it to go out there and create, a title. In this case, it's pretty simple, keeping customers. And then you can go out there and say, hey, let's go ahead and update the part of the application that's most relevant. So there we go. You can see that it changed the title to keeping customers. You could keep going or just stop there. And last but not least, you can export all of the code here. You can view the source code, for example, that pertains to this application. And just like that, you have created your own application simply by asking generative AI to create it.